have 6 colleges of Unani in Maharashtra, in the state of Maharashtra. But what we see over here is probably telemedicine correlates very well to homeopathy. But it is a little difficult to communicate the exact findings of the patient to the doctor through teleconferencing or telemedicine or recordings of the patient that we have from one end to the other. Because much of the Ayurvedic medicines, I'll come to that as well, depends on the touch of the patient. You would agree in the medical circles, what those of you, I'm sorry, I'm not introduced to everyone, and I do not know how many of us are doctors here. But in the common dictum we say, out of 100 patients, 50% patients, even if we don't treat, they get healed. Out of the rest 50, 25 don't heal. And 25% are the patients whom you really help. So the real help is going, the medicinal help that you are able to give to the patient is only in 25 out of 100. So rest of the 75 get cured by the placebo effect of the doctor. Now that is something that we will have to take care into telemedicine, because until and unless a traditional medicine doctor has seen the pulse, touched the patient will not heal. I mean, this is the concept that we have, because the patient comes and says, you please take the pulse, let me know what is there in the pulse. And pulse reading is something that is very, very specific to Ayurveda, and we have Nadi Vaidyas, those physicians who have an expertise in the pulse reading, and I don't know how many of them are there in the country as on today, but we have heard many, many stories of some Vaidyas who can tell you very precisely what is the vegetable that you had taken yesterday evening by seeing the pulse. What is the kind of illness you have and how long it will take, even the prognosis also they are able to tell. And therefore the role of pulse is something that will have to be seen in telemedicine. But the infrastructure, when we are talking of infrastructure, even Maharashtra is a huge state, and I don't think 53,000 Ayurvedic doctors are enough. Then there are problems with them as well. So how telemedicine will help in that? Basically, there are difficulties in reaching to the remote places. One of the most difficult thing is inadequate infrastructure. If you see Rajasthan, there's some of the data that we have many few dispensaries to cater to the traditional medicine needs of the rural folk, of the public at large in the non-urban areas. Then homeopathic dispensaries, there are many states where there is no officially homeopathic dispensary at all. Like in Maharashtra, we do not have governmental dispensaries. So once you lack the governmental interference into a traditional medicine branch, probably the facility is not available to the poor and the rural folk. Then we have Unani dispensaries only in Andhra Pradesh or maybe Jammu Kashmir. Most of the other states do not have Unani dispensaries. There is no accessibility to rural population, and there are reasons. We have around 8 million Ayurvedic doctors, traditional medicine doctors, but the problems are there is no provision of Ayush dispensaries. In rural areas, you don't find a dispensary. Even if, I'll just give you an example, I hail from Jammu and Kashmir. I treat my mother with Ayurvedic medicines. But when I'm in Mumbai, I want to find a Vaidya there, a traditional medicine practitioner in my village. She doesn't have anyone to go to. So she would ask me on phone, but that information that comes from her is inadequate, and therefore it's difficult to treat from a remote place. But had there been an Ayurvedic doctor there in the village, probably the treatment would have become very simpler. Therefore, now there is a connect that if you have a traditional healer at the rural end and the expert in the urban area or whatever tertiary level, so that will facilitate the telemedicine. Problem of retaining doctors in rural areas. Doctors don't stay in the rural areas. They want to rush to the urban areas. That is true for allopathic doctors, the conventional medicine doctors. That is true even for Ayurvedic doctors. They will go into the slum and practice, but they would not like to go to the villages because all the civic life amenities, they are mostly available in the cities. Most of the Ayush practice, now this is a trend which is now gradually changing. Although we have 8 million, but many of them do not practice the traditional medicines. So the getting into the homeopathic stream or Ayurvedic stream, somehow it's a backdoor entry into practice of conventional medicine or modern medicine. So that has to be, we are making efforts to stop that in Maharashtra. Although by law, legally they are allowed to do allopathic practice, Ayurvedic doctors in Maharashtra, because the government of India has given that liberty to the states to decide which system of medicine they can allow the modern medicine practice. Next is no proper education of awareness of general population. The issue is, if we go to villages, they will simply ask for an injection. The concept that has grown, we had a feeling while we were studying and we were in the colleges, studying our undergraduation and post-graduation, we always had a feeling probably we have very strong roots in the villages. But that's not there. If you go to the village, they will not be able to identify simple herbs like durva. There is a kind of a grass, that common grass which is offered to Ganpati, Ganpati Puja. That is a very good anticoagulant. Oh, sorry, that's a very good coagulant. In bleeding disorders that is used, in menorrhagias that is used, but people do not know. People are not aware of many of these herbs grow in the rural areas, but people are not aware. They have lost touch with the traditional medicine that existed in their villages, and there used to be a respected Vaidya into that, a respected traditional healer in that village. That has all been replaced by, now these people rush to the primary health center or to an allopathic doctor whosoever is there. Therefore, the general population has to be re-educated about the traditional medicines. Normally, we talk of, I think, let me deal, time consuming and less effective. This is what people think, that Ayurvedic and traditional medicine is time consuming. I can assure you, diarrheas, just one dose of an Ayurvedic medicine can stop diarrheas. Until and unless there is a very, very serious infection, the diarrheas will stop. There are many other areas, now because people come to these traditional medicines only for the refractory diseases, only for a chronic bronchial asthma, only for chronic diabetes, maybe musculoskeletal disorder, maybe for arthritis or spondylitis, which has failed to heal by any conventional medicine therapies. Therefore, because those diseases themselves are either degenerative in nature or metabolic in nature, and they are going to take time. Therefore, it is a misconception that Ayurvedic or traditional medicines are time consuming. Most of the times, if correctly applied, many of these traditional medicines are very fast acting and they are good. I don't say they are good only, they are good for all emergencies. For a heart attack, you ought to have streptokinase, there is no alternative to it. So those emergencies which are life-threatening have to be dealt with the proven medicines, whether it is conventional or traditional, and there is no meaning in taking a risk in that. Then we have star treatments are not available beyond townships. In every system there are star treatments. Star treatments is those remedies which are very popular in that system, and those remedies which have allowed the systems to, or facilitated the systems to retain their identity over centuries and thousands of years. Just as Panchakarma for Ayurveda. Panchakarma treatments, I don't know how many of you are aware, but Panchakarma is those kind of Kerala massages, fermentations, and different other bio-detoxification procedures. Now those are, some of these star treatments are not available. They are available either only in the cities or you have to go to Kerala for that. So what do you do with them? So similarly, there is a treatment for fistula where the Indian Council of Medical Research has also tried and proven that this Ayurvedic treatment, whereby a thread is passed into the fistulous tract and the healing is much better, and the recurrence rate, normally that recurs. That fistula, you operated once, again recurs. You operated second time, yeah. You said you can go ahead.
Yeah, I said go ahead, but
Oh, okay. I thought there is no time limit. Anyway, I'll finish in 5 minutes. If you can give me 5 more minutes.
No, he's the chair now.
Okay.
5 more minutes is too much.
5 is, I take 2 minutes. So Ayush medicines are not easily available. This is again an issue. You have seen with telemedicine, you have diagnosed the patient. Even if you make a software for seeing the pulse of the patient, still you do not have those medicines available in those areas. So then there are a few things that you will have to do. Lack of investment in Ayush, these traditional medicines. Now,
Just conclude.
coming to last 1 or 2 slides. Now, what is important is, what is the goal? Educate the public in rural areas about traditional medicines. One is because they are safe, effective, and accept those areas which are the domain of traditional medicines. We may not go into emergencies. We may not go into those areas where there are proven allopathic remedies without any of the side effects. Provide for special advice of Vaidyas of repute down to the village level. So some of those studios or maybe centers have to be made in the cities where the expertise has to come and deliver the goods. Utilize the locally available Ayurvedic doctrine, coordinating for telemedicine. Create medicinal stores at taluka levels. Now this is important. The medicines are not available anywhere. Even at a district headquarters in India, we do not get many of these Ayurvedic and traditional medicines. You have to go hunting. An Ayurvedic doctor writes a medicine, very difficult to procure them. And then of course effective follow-up through telemedicine. But the 5th one is something that really needs a lot of thought. Because the medicines could be ordered on online and they could be dispatched at the taluka level. So all these consultations that can be done, patients follow-up can be done. This is something that we have in general. Propagation, CMEs can be done for Ayurvedic doctors sitting in the villages. They need not be called into the cities. That can be done. Now special Ayush therapies, they can be provided. The doctors can be trained online because they are educated. They have come out of the institutes. So those refresher courses can be given to them. And then some contact programs in the city, and this for Kshar Sutra. One is the globalization. The telemedicine would offer 2 major things. One is that these traditional medicines that are limited to the countries, they can be globalized. The second is we have to go back to the roots. Until and unless the root is strong, the false or pseudo-globalization will not happen. Therefore, we ought to go back to the roots, and it's only telemedicine which can make the roots of traditional medicine very strong. So the yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank Dr. Kohli for giving a vivid picture of Ayush. The mic is not working.
In fact, we did not need it. We didn't explore whether it works.
So I'm sorry because there's a little bit of derailment of the session because confusion with the sharing the session, no printing. So sorry for that. What actually Dr. Kohli has given you the factors, especially for people, visitors from the abroad, in this Ayush, Ayurvedic, and Unani and all those 5 alternative medicine, very popular in Western world. In fact, I must have say at this forum, public forum, we lost the opportunity to market this Ayush. Whereas Chinese, with the Chinese have really marketed the Chinese medicine. So we failed. So I don't want to go to our policies. There is probably a huge budget in the head of Ayush in our federal government level. So what Dr. Kohli has said, I will be very happy if you can really take it forward. We'll help you from the society side to lobby for you in the Ministry of Health in Delhi. In fact, there are no takers. When Mr. Sanjay Paul was heading the secretary for Ayush, he was ready to invest money in this thing. unfortunately the driver role was not there.
Mhm.
So let the state be drivers,
Okay.
want to drive IOS, and technology is there for you. Whether you take allopathic, you take English medicine, you take Chinese medicine, use the same technology. So with that, thank you very much for giving us
Anyway,
this briefing.